All right, we are live. Hello, how are you guys doing? I hope you are having a great week. All right, we've got it going on. I hope you are having a great week, a great Monday, a great Tuesday, making it happen, getting ready to get into the middle of the week. And today I wanted to share with you, I've been having some questions about the topic that we're on this week regarding perfectionism. And really, it's just about our thinking, right? It's just about the belief systems and the belief patterns that we have. Now, there's a lot of things that are related to it, and if they're extreme, then of course you're working with your therapist on those things. And you can take these tools and share them with your therapist so you can step out of this experience. Now, most of us, even if they're not extreme, we have them. I have perfectionistic issues. And most people do, and other people who don't, they've kind of reversed it and said, I'm going to not care. I'm just going to shut it all down and totally go blank with it all. So either way, it's just the other side of the coin. And so you might find that you fit into one of those categories, or you might find that there's another one, but it still fits the, gosh, I'm afraid to make a move because I don't want to be wrong. A good part of this, and as I'm sharing this with my clients as a coach, is to take a look at what has our belief system create that. Well, guess what? As a little kid, if we get it wrong, there's a consequence. So our brain is absolutely amazing. As soon as we realize we might get something wrong and we might have a consequence, we shut down. We're like, I'm not going to do that. Gotta get away from that. That's going to hurt. Or some of us who might be rather ambitious are like, I don't care if it hurts. I'm going to push through it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to keep going and I'm going to prove them wrong. But either way, it's still being driven by that belief that we have. So what I wanted to share with you is an activity that really helps. When we can talk about something, it's not so dark and scary. And then we can shine a light on it and it allows us to go, oh, okay. So what I would like for you to do is take a piece of paper, it's any kind of piece of paper, it doesn't matter, and jot down on the left-hand side any negative thoughts or perfectionistic thoughts. And then notice how it makes you feel and where you feel it in your body. The idea of this is to help you, so this is exactly what I said to do. You're going to put the negative thought here on this side, and you might not think it's negative. But if when you think about it, if you're like, oh, I've got to get this perfect, it's got to be perfect, and that doesn't have you feel like you're wanting then to focus on your goals and move forward. Instead, it has you wanting to turn the other way and not even look, or be like, oh God, I got to do this, I've got to make it happen, and all you feel is stress and strain and negative emotion. Notice where you feel it. Is it your chest? Is it your throat? Is it your head? Is it your back? I hold a lot in all of those areas. Some people will notice it's in their arms and in their feet. Some people notice it's in their fingers. It's really interesting. And that's just becoming aware of what your body's doing. And as you do that, then you can see, wow, even though I thought this thought process and this belief system was helping me, it's actually creating a lot of this. It's creating a lot of stress and a lot of strain, a lot of tension. I notice a lot of it happens in my jaw and in my teeth, leading back into my shoulders. Actually, when I'm bringing it up to you right now, I can feel it. So it's important that we allow ourselves to do that, not to be like, oh man, now I'm going to be stuck feeling that, but more like I'm doing with you. As we voice it, we give ourselves an opportunity to voice what's going on instead of push it away and push it down and just get over it. We think getting over it actually means it's going away, but getting over it just means we're pushing it down and our goals that are there in front of us are getting further and further away, or we might be getting closer to them, but we're still feeling way strained and way stressed. And as a coach, whether I'm working with someone with a particular career goal or relationship goal, or with their relationship with themselves, or relationship with understanding how they're thinking or how they're feeling, it allows them to go, oh, that's what I'm doing that creates this. Not, oh, I can't believe I'm doing that. Look at I'm doing, that's just so wrong. I can't, that's just, oh, that's so stupid. I can't believe. It takes that away. There's no need for judgment. There's no need for shaming. That's still part of that whole trying to be perfect stuff. It's still part of the game that we've created with ourselves that we don't even realize that we're playing because it feels so negative. It doesn't feel like a game. But we're playing that game with ourselves. The great thing is we can change the rules. We can change the new way that we're playing. And so that's where the other side is. The other side is allowing yourself to take a look at what's the blessing that I'm learning from this? What is the positive thought from this? And you may have trouble coming up with that if you're so used to just being in the perfectionistic or critical or pessimistic of I'm not good enough stuff. But allow yourself to ask yourself the question, if my friend had this perfectionistic quality, how is it blessing their life? And so then you'll begin to take a look and see, okay, so when I thought I had to be perfect at this, it did help me to be careful. When I thought I had to be perfect at this, it did help me research more. It helped me to make sure I knew what I was going to say. It helped me to get the skills I needed to say. So you take a look at the negative things and you can work on those things. Some of them I can work with you on. Some of them you can find thank you so much for the hearts, guys. Some of them you can find, if these things are running even deeper emotionally, then you can find a therapist to work on with them. If there's something that you're like, you know what, I realize that this is something that I've been doing because I think that so-and-so is perfect, or I think that such and such is perfect. You might notice that the other thing you also put here is you're comparing to other people. Like you have to be like them to qualify. And being able to realize you don't have to be like them. You are perfectly you. You are perfect. You are perfectly you. Every aspect of you is perfectly you. When you make those mistakes, that's perfectly you. That's perfectly you growing and learning and thriving. So when we take the issue and instead of avoiding it or calling it bad or judging it, going, oh, that's what I'm thinking about myself. That's why that's coming up. I'm comparing myself. Or that's why that's coming up. I'm beating myself up. That's why that's coming up. That was a total belief. It was totally true in my belief system. And then it allows you to take a look at it like a scientist. To go, oh, that's why I was feeling that way and behaving that way because I was thinking that way. Hey there, Jackie. Thanks so much for joining. Patty says, comparison is so easy for us to do. Yes. And that's oftentimes where perfectionism comes from. Because we're looking at, well, my parent wants me to be this way, but I'm not. Or they say, why can't you be like your sister or your brother? Or maybe they're not saying that at all. Maybe they're saying you're perfect just the way you are, but you're looking on at a sibling or a friend or social media going, I don't look like that, and I believe that's beautiful, and I'm not that, so I must not be beautiful. And the same thing, you fill in the blank and take out beautiful and put in the other words, smart, tall, young, older. When we do that to ourselves, that would be like taking a person. Imagine this. Imagine taking a person that you love dearly, sitting them down and saying to them, you know you're not pretty enough. You're not smart enough. You're not handsome enough. You're not tall enough. You're not smart enough. You're not thin enough. Imagine how they would feel. That is what you're doing to yourself when you're practicing these things. And you can easily stop. Now, you might not know how. And that's why, as a coach in all these various ways, I help people, I take them by the hand, I help them to take a look at these things without fear and without judgment, and be able to pull out of the torment that they're putting themselves through, and be able to go, oh, okay, I don't need to do that anymore. I see why I was doing that. I see the pattern I started. I was working with a client who didn't realize, because she had all brothers, that she was trying to live up to being tough and not being vulnerable and, you know, trying to do it as good as the guys. And didn't understand why she was so exhausted. Didn't understand why she was feeling not good enough. But being able to take a look and see, as you're able to see this, can you see that that's what you were believing? You were believing you had to be just like them, as though you were not good enough. Do you see that belief right there? Do you see that pattern that's come from that belief? And she was able to go, oh my gosh. And the relief that washed over her face. Now being able to look at her goals without the obstacle in the way, being able to take on what she wants to take on, and then being able to realize, I can release that comparison. I did not know I was doing that. It's so amazing. Jackie says, so true. Yes. So use this activity. Super easy. That's why I just take a piece of paper and scribble it down so you can see how easy it is. And then just jot down the negative thought without judgment. Promise you'll do it without any judgment. You're just writing it down like a scientist. Like, oh, look at what I was thinking. Huh, curious. And when I thought that, what came of it? What did I feel? What did I feel in my body? It's just getting you connected. We think that the only time we can talk about our emotions is never. Or, you know, in this little box. And emotions are okay. Emotions are safe to talk about. Everybody has them. And then as you begin to understand that all of them are good, both the good and the bad, I usually have a battery to show you the positive side of the battery is good as well as the negative side of the battery. Both is good. And that's what you're doing today. You're taking a look at the positive side and the negative side of the battery. The positive side and the negative side of the perfectionistic behaviors that you're doing. It's just an obstacle that's in your way. And as you shift through it, you're able to take on your goals. You're able to find your confidence. You're able to get clear. And you're able to see, you know, having some of these perfectionistic thoughts, they helped. And they also hurt. And I'm cleaning up the hurt without judgment. And I'm stepping into what helps. Because you have really great skills from this. And then you can also be able to help a friend when you see them doing the same thing. You get to take care of you. You deserve it. I want to thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you checking in and learning with yourself and learning the things that you can do. As you do this activity, share it with me. I'd love to go over it with you, and then we can share it in the group. I can share your thoughts and share your ideas with each other, or you could even share it into the group with a picture if you'd like. The whole idea is to give each other tools and resources so we're not left feeling like we have to suffer with these things. We don't need to suffer with them at all. It's just a skill that you learned, and you went more toward the negative aspect of that skill than toward the positive aspect of that skill. So we can clean up the negative aspects, get it all cleaned up and out of the way, and then we can go in toward how has it been helping? How has it helped you really get down into researching and connecting as you release the blame and the judgment and the shame and all that other stuff? And you know, if any of it's too strong and too overwhelming, taking you into a dark place, that's where you want to get with a therapist. I love therapists. They're beautiful people. And they will help you see what's going on. Also, being able to, I don't need judgment on this. I just need clarity. I just need to work through this. And you might find that this is all you need. And taking a look at these things and taking a look at the thought processes and going, oh. So know that you can do it. Know that you have that ability. You have that God-given ability. It's there for you. Everybody has it. We just don't know how because we've never been taught. And now that I've been taught these things, I will not stop sharing them. Lucky you. All right, you guys, you have a beautifully blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow for Wise Wednesday. You take care of you. Great big